It was a cold, lifeless night when Liam stepped onto the last train of the evening. The station was unusually empty, its flickering fluorescent lights casting eerie shadows on the cracked tiles. He tugged his coat tighter, the chill in the air clawing at his skin. The train screeched into the station, its brakes screaming like a wounded animal. When the doors slid open, they revealed a near-empty carriage bathed in dim yellow light that buzzed faintly. Liam hesitated for a moment. Something felt wrong. The air was thick, heavy, almost suffocating. But it was late, and he was tired. Shaking off the uneasy feeling, he stepped inside. The doors slammed shut behind him with a force that made him flinch. He glanced around. There were only 3 other passengers, a woman sitting motionless, staring at the floor, an old man muttering to himself, his hands twitching, and a boy no older than 8, holding a tattered teddy bear with one missing eye. The boy's head slowly turned toward Liam, his face pale and expressionless. The train jerked forward, the lights dimming momentarily. Liam found a seat near the middle, gripping the cold metal pole for balance. He checked his phone. No signal. Typical for the underground, he thought. He leaned back and closed his eyes, the rhythmic clatter of the train soothing his nerves. But then he noticed it. The sound. Or rather, the lack of it. The clatter of the train was gone. No hum of the engine, no distant echoes in the tunnels. Just silence, so deep it felt like a weight pressing down on him. Liam opened his eyes. The carriage was still, but the passengers, they had moved. The boy was now sitting closer, his unblinking eyes fixed on Liam. The woman was turned toward him, her face hidden beneath a curtain of greasy black hair. The old man was nowhere to be seen. The train sped up. Faster. And faster. The windows became a blur of black, streaked with faint streaks of red. Liam's heart pounded. He stood up, gripping the pole for support. "Where are we going?" he called out, his voice trembling. The boy giggled. It was a high-pitched, unnatural sound, like nails on glass. "You can't get off," he whispered, his lips barely moving. "What?" Liam stammered. The boy's head tilted at an unnatural angle. "You got on, now you ride." Liam backed away, his legs shaking. The woman let out a low, guttural growl, her face snapping upward. Her eyes were black voids, her mouth twisted into an inhuman grin that stretched too wide. Liam turned and ran to the next carriage. He slammed the door shut behind him, his breath coming in ragged gasps. The carriage was empty, but the lights flickered violently, casting long, twisting shadows that seemed to move on their own. "Let me off!" he screamed, pounding on the doors. The train's PA system crackled to life. A distorted, mechanical voice filled the air. "Final stop." Nowhere. The lights went out completely. The darkness was suffocating. Liam fumbled for his phone, his trembling hands struggling to turn on the flashlight. When he finally managed, the light illuminated the old man's face, inches from his own. "You're not supposed to be here," the man hissed, his voice a rasping whisper. His eyes were wild, bloodshot, and filled with terror. "They'll take you. They'll take us all." The train screeched to a halt, throwing Liam to the floor. The doors slid open, revealing a station bathed in red light. The air was thick with the metallic stench of blood. Shadowy figures stood on the platform, their faces obscured, their heads tilting in unison toward the train. The old man grabbed Liam's arm, his grip surprisingly strong. "Don't step out, don't let them see you." But it was too late. One of the figures turned its head sharply toward them, its face a featureless void. A low, guttural growl reverberated through the station. The doors slammed shut, and the train hurtled forward again, faster than ever. Liam felt his body pressed against the floor, the speed making it impossible to move. The lights flickered back on, and the boy, the woman, and the old man were seated calmly once more, as if nothing had happened. Liam sat up, his body trembling. He looked out the window and saw his own reflection. But it wasn't moving with him. It smiled, its eyes black as coal, and mouthed two words, "You're next."